You already know, man. It's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
Yes, you are listening to it on the Beat 105.5. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show. Another Saturday morning, July 27th. All us Leos. Salute all the Leos. It's Leo's time. Oh my gosh, I had a great birthday time last night with a bunch of Leos here. Canadian Leos, American Leos. Oh, it was an international affair last night. Crystal Jackson, congratulations. One of the Leos. And today, Faye Jackson, her 80th birthday coming up. Today is her day. So I want everybody to make today your day. It's Real Deal Sports Show, and we got an awful lot of things to talk about. Guess who's back in town? The Buffalo Bills. They're back in Rochester, New York at St. John Fisher College. They've been out there working out the last 4 days. Hey, the pads, because of the union rules and things of that nature, the pads come on either on Sunday or Monday. The Buffalo Bills will be in pads, and when they get in the pads, that's when there will be a lot of hitting, and you'll see a lot of physical contact out there at St. John Fisher College. And a lot of people fighting for jobs and opportunities to make the roster. It's going to be interesting to see how things take place. And we're going to open up with BacSpin with the interview from Coach Sean McDermott, head coach Sean McDermott. A lot riding on the season this year. Let's hear what head coach Sean McDermott had to say about the upcoming training camp. We'll have Sean McDermott on shortly, but in the meantime, we're going to make sure that we have things going on for the upcoming season. The Bills training camp, a lot of things happening. McDermott talking about the physicality that must take place at St. John Fisher for the Bills training camp. There's a lot of positions available, a lot of opportunity on this team this year. I'm looking at a lot of the linebacker position on defense. Want to see what these linebackers can do. Tell you what, Terrell Bernard, we're going to hopefully hear from him later on in the show. But Terrell Bernard done put on some weight, y'all. The guy's face is bigger. His arms he's all buffed up. I don't know what proteins and weight room. He was living in the weight room, looks like, during the off season. I think he might be sick of getting those cleat marks on his chest as he did last season, because he got run over. Unbelievable. It was a shame to see a man run over another man the way Terrell Bernard was run over last season, man. He's good. He's good on pass defense, but run defense, he knows he was in the weight room. He lived in there this offseason. J-GILLZ is in the house. Good morning, J-GILLZ. I was talking about Terrell Bernard, man. He looks buffed out there this season. Looked like he was in the weight room most of the offseason.
Oh, absolutely. He's definitely got a chance to compete and really be a solidifier of that defense. Obviously, the Bills lost so much on defense at every level. So one of those people who are still there, who's been there for a while now, started his career there in Buffalo, he wants to show everybody that he deserves to be one that starting will linebacker coming off the edge next to Von Miller.
Absolutely. And Matt Milano's out there working out lightly. He's starting to work out. The funny thing is, they still haven't said what his injury was. They still really didn't give, because his leg was broken. We know his leg was broken. We don't know how many tears in his ligaments. Was it the ACL? Was it all three? Was all three ligaments torn? I don't think all three, because it looks like for him to be out there this early and being able to move around and look, he's in slow speed. It's not real game action, obviously, but I noticed in the drills, he's moving around decently for somebody that had a serious almost catastrophic injury over there in London, playing on that sorry rug that they shouldn't have been playing on, and his foot got caught up in the rug and rolled underneath the pile, and his leg just got, just snapped. You could tell it was a gruesome injury. Just how the reaction, the faces of the Buffalo Bills players on the sideline when they helped them off the field. But first, we're gonna go to this interview with Buffalo Bills head coach Sean McDermott, just to hear what he has to say about the upcoming training camp.
2018, it's an opportunity, and you look forward to those opportunities, right? To bring a team along and put a team together. Certain players that work for us may not work for other teams. Certain players that work for them may not work for us. And I think one of the cool things about the position that I'm in, the position we're in as coaches, the position Brandon's in, and his staff as well, is that we get a chance to put together a team. And that's not always just, hey, we're going to take the most talented guys across the board. I don't believe that's how you put a team together. Talent is important, but what's just as important, once we know that the talent is there, is how it all fits together. And the rapport offensively that was mentioned with Josh, and how it all fits together in all three phases. So I think that's part of what's exciting about this season, is seeing how that all comes together.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, J-GILLZ. And I see we had the Fanatic back on his birthday. Happy birthday, Fanatic.
Happy birthday to the Fanatic.
Appreciate it, man. couldn't be a better place than being right here with the Real Deal Sports Show family, man. So it's a great way to start the day. Yes, so I appreciate the shout. So thanks for the love, y'all. Appreciate it.
And we're broadcasting live from the Rock Palm Broker Studios. Keep in mind, always check out Sammy and the crew over at Rock Palm Brokers. Rock Palm Broker is the place to be. Deal or no deal. Check them out. Deal or no deal. 559 State Street. Give them a call if you got a question about the deal or no deal. 585-262-9920. Sammy and his entire crew over there will take care of you and give you the deal or no deal. You call the shots. What you think how much something's worth, and see what kind of deal can go down. And I guarantee you'll leave Rock Palm Brokers quite pleased and happy with that, with your item purchase of jewelry, gold, custom-made jewelry. Oh, man, they got it all. They got the works over there. So stop on there at 559 State Street. Call 585-262-9920, Rock Palm Brokers. And next, guys, we're going to go to this next interview, which it really got me fired up earlier. I may go on a rant, may not, but let's hear what Von Miller, the legendary Von Miller, oh man, this is something else here. Listen to what Von Miller has to say. And this interview is brought to you by Rock Palm Brokers.
You know, I'm Von Miller. I'm kind of measured by sacks. I'm kind of measured by sacks, but I didn't get any last year. I made 3 tackles. Probably should not have played last year. At 34 years old, to sit out a season and a half, it just wasn't on my mind. So like I said before, I only know one way to view things, and that's the most optimistic way. And I wanted it to go better than what it was. I wanted to go out there and get 15 sacks. That'll put me in the top 10 all time. I wanted, all of those things to happen, but the universe just had other plans for me, and nothing in life is by coincidence. So I'm here now, year 3. I'm feeling good, and I'm ready to go, and I'm fired up that I didn't have the type of production that I had last year, and I'm ready to go play football. No, I mean, that's probably what should have happened, but I didn't want that to happen. I wanted to be out there and play. If I was 50%, like, nobody was going to stop me from going out there. Nobody was going to stop me from going out there. But the truth, just being honest with you guys, my knee wasn't at a place where I could go and I can move and I can do the things that I wanted to do. I mean, I could play, but that was just about it. I'm just, getting back getting back in the hang of just playing football. And it feels good to just be in meetings and not do rehab all day and watch film and get reps with the guys and to be out there and it's not all about my knee. And, so from a starting point, where I'm at this year is way better than what I was last year. It feels like year 1 to me when I first got here. And I'm just ready to play football and go out there and make plays for my teammates. Every sack that I get from this standpoint on, I'm passing a Hall of Fame type player. So each and every sack, especially after not having one, being away from the game and not making plays, I feel like each and every sack that I make from here on out will be so special.
Yes, indeed, so special.
What's wrong with that, Rad, man? He talking about his legacy. He letting you know I ain't no average Joe first-year player. That ain't who I'm talking about. I'm talking about my legacy. And every person that I have and every play that I make is going to be something serious. What's wrong with that, Rad, man?
It's a lot wrong with J-GILLZ. Before we go, like, comment, subscribe to Real Deal Sports Show. Check us out on YouTube. Like us, subscribe. We appreciate the subscribers. Keep on good for more people. Come on board and subscribe. J-GILLZ, your comment before I on Von Miller's commentary. Can you on his commentary?
Absolutely, Redman. I honestly, I have to agree with the Fanatic here. I can understand how some would surmise that it's more so an excuse of last season, but to me, he's setting a standard on what his expectations are for this season. He said last season wasn't good enough. He said he shouldn't have been out there. He said 0 sacks is a shame. He said he's trying to get 15 sacks, tackling to that the top 10 of all time. He's setting a standard, Redman. I think this is music to Bills fans and Bills Mafia's ears right now. He acknowledges the wrong he did in the past. He's ready to move forward in the right direction. And this is a year that he needs to do it based off of all those key losses that the Bills suffered last season.
Absolutely. But this is the point you both, I don't know if you guys heard it earlier on when he first came on. He talked about his last season. He talked about he needs 10 to 15 more sacks to be the all-time great. He needs 10 to 15 more sacks. He didn't say a damn thing about the team. He didn't say nothing about what the team needed. And then he had the audacity to admit that, I really shouldn't have been on the field last year. No kidding, man. Everybody eyeballs could look at the TV screen, or if you're at the stadium live, we're in the press box saying, damn, what does Bean and McDermott see in this guy? If we watching it right now, him in a live game, how did he look in practice for you to even say, yo, man, you can dress this week? And then did you hear him say it was no way in the world Brandon Bean was going? What, he punking Brandon Bean or something? He got a punk up there as a general manager? No, man, sit your Bean. He should have never been. Brandon Bean should have never put him on the field last season. It was man, and then this man even admits to you that it was nobody, Brandon Bean, and nobody could stop me from getting on the field last season. Who's running the Buffalo Bills? Von Miller?
Wait, man. I hear you.
How you allow a man to say this? He's saying it to you live, which is
he's
cool.
He's a star player.
But you don't put the man on the field when you see he's not 50% isn't good enough to get on the National Football League football field. And we saw that. The man had 0 sacks, very little. I don't think he had very little pressures. He had a handful of pressures in the games that he played. And he's here saying, there's no way you can stop me from playing. Well, you got a head coach, you got a defensive coordinator, you got a head coach. Well, they're the same person, Sean McDermott, head coach and defensive coordinator Sean McDermott. You got a general manager, and he mentions the general manager's name and said, "Oh, Brandon Bean couldn't stop me." I'm like, well, who's running the show? How you gonna allow a guy go on the field and embarrass him? He was an embarrassment to himself and the entire Buffalo Bills organization last season from what we saw. Why would you allow him? He was a straight up embarrassment.
It was pretty bad. And he played the full season. He played the whole season too. You know what I mean? He had ample opportunity to try and do something. I mean, he saw a lot of bad things on the field. He was frustrated himself, not to mention off the field as well. His poor play kind of got him in trouble off the field, during that small break. And Brandon Bean still let him stay on the team. So he was definitely right. Nobody was going to stop him from playing on the field. But I think that ultimately what he did was he acknowledged that it wasn't the right decision. And hopefully moving forward this season, he can start to become the Von Miller that we all know, well, at this age, that we all hope he can be.
And do you think the Bills, I hope, would be smart and only play him mostly on third down situations or certain situations? They won't play him every down like they tried to when he first got here, and he ended up getting hurt on the Thanksgiving game there in Detroit. He was having a great season. He was playing very well, but he was 32 at the time and older. His body gave out. He's not LeBron James. He's not a guy that has very few injuries. He has 2 major knee injuries. But I just thought that was interesting that they even say that the general manager couldn't stop you from playing and put you on the field. And he didn't help the Bills much at all. Nobody double teamed him. I mean, they just put one guy on. They didn't before. They used to have to shift 2 guys on him to know where he was on the football field at all times. That didn't happen last season, and I think it hurt the defense. He should have had somebody else in there. He shouldn't even have been dressing for those games. They should have had somebody else in there playing because we know they paid him big time money, but that's your general manager's fault and for paying him that kind of money at a 32-year-old.
Radman, I just want to make sure.
Hassan Reddick, who's better right now? I would take a Hassan Reddick any minute right over Von Miller at this stage right now.
Of course, yeah, of course. But that's I mean, you're looking at kind of hindsight. It is what it is now. But I guess what I want to make sure, I think the people want to know, Radman, are you saying this overall with this Von Miller situation? Are you saying that as a star player, he shouldn't have had the cachet to say, I'm going to play what I want to play. Because, for example, if Josh Allen is concussed, I will take a concussed Josh Allen over Mitchell Trubisky starting. If Josh Allen can someone tell me his name is Jay Allen and he get to play that, he playing next week. I ain't having no Mitchell Trubisky, and I can't even pronounce this guy's last name, Shane Buechele. He ain't from Louisiana, so I don't know what that last name might be. But that dude, you telling me Josh Allen couldn't tell us? So to me, Radman, I want to know, are you mad that Von Miller said the quiet part out loud? That, hey, I'm a star and we get special treatment? Because, again, you're right. If that is backup, if Deion Dawkins, we love Deion, so he a friend of the show, doesn't drop. But if he happened to be out, so I ain't trying to put that on him. But if Ryan Van Demark trying to tell me he gonna play, he ain't telling Brandon Beane what to do. That's not how this goes. But Von Miller, an established veteran, potential Hall of Famer, he get a little extra cachet and a little leeway to say it. So, Rabbit, again, last part to restate the question for what the people want to know, and we give the people what they want is it because he said the quiet part out loud? Because all stars get star treatment. That's the question.
No, I'm not mad that he said it out loud. He said what we all knew from last season. It had to be him forcing the issue last season to play, because what you saw in practice during the week, it couldn't have changed that much from what you saw during the week from him to game day. He no explosion. He had no lift, no explosion off the ball, no nothing. I would have said, look, man, you're going to embarrass yourself out there. What we looking at you in practice, man, I don't see you jumping up to the next level from what we see in all week in practice. We holding you back because we don't want to see you embarrass yourself on the football field. And that's what he was last year, an embarrassment out there, not being able to get off the ball. I mean, he was slow. You could physically see he was so much slower than everybody else on the football field that's when McDermott, he loves his guys too much. Remember Sean McDermott, the same guy that sent Cole Beasley out there with a broken leg. How you going to have a guy play in a playoff game with a broken leg, and then you had another wide receiver with a pulled hamstring, and you didn't take the guy that you brought in to play? You didn't start other guys. Sean McDermott has a terrible habit of keeping veteran guys in games when they should not be playing. And he continues to do it. He did it with Von Miller last year. He did it the first playoff year with Cole Beasley. There was no way in the world Cole Beasley should have been on the field. And then we find out after the game, oh yeah, I got a fractured leg. Man, you got a broken leg, man. Who put you? Man, come on, man. Sean McDermott needs to. If guys are hurt, you better have a backup. Put the backup in, and they have a quality backup wide receiver. I can't remember the receiver's name. He was a quality receiver, a named receiver that they picked up. He was with them for 3-4 weeks, ready to play, and they didn't play him. The same way they didn't play the running back last year from Tampa Bay. You should have played him and gave him an opportunity to play. But you going with your guys, and your guys, Ty Johnson got a bruised shoulder, a shoulder injury. You still running out guys just because they're your guys. But if your guys are hurt, they can't play. Go with the healthier player, the healthier veteran player. I don't know what it is with McDermott. He just sticks with those guys. It hurt, broken down, broken leg. Von Miller, no burst, no nothing, and they don't, and the same result happens every time. You don't win, and this is maybe one of the reasons McDermott is not a winner in the playoffs. He's a winner during the regular season when his guys are healthy, but when guys are dinged up, he doesn't know how to make the chess moves and put in the right sub guys in to sub these guys out and not playing. Because Diggs was even there. Stephon Diggs had an injury that year when Cole Beasley. You had your three. Gabe Davis, something was so your three starting receivers had something wrong with them, and you wouldn't put in a backup receiver to replace one of them. That's what I'm talking about.
I do think that's a fair point. I think it's a fair point, but I mean, I think it's tough. I would love to hear from the fans and from the people. So please let us know what y'all think, man. If you got your real guys who ride with you, because we know that the NFL season by the playoff time, it's just a war of attrition. Who's the most healthy? But everybody's gonna be hurt by the time you get to that week 18 game with that 18th game. You know the folks are gonna be hurt. So how do you deal with that? So to me, hey, I'm good with going on your shield and going with your guys, especially your high price guys. Could you imagine you go out there in a playoff game and you got me, J-GILLZ, and Mike Red go as your starting receivers. No offense to all of us. We can catch some passes, but I'd rather have Stephon Diggs on a hurt hamstring, Cole Beasley maybe on a broken-ish leg, Gabe Davis with a tweaked ankle. Yeah, and those are the big money guys. They're making that money for a reason. So
yeah, they're making the money. See, that's what makes you thinking the wrong thing. Yeah. If you remember back to that game, you could visibly see these guys shouldn't be on the field. Something wrong with Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley couldn't get off the line of scrimmage that game, just like Von Miller couldn't get off the line of scrimmage for most of the games that he was in last season. Those guys should not be playing. Not at all. But let's go to J-GILLZ. I know he had celebrated last night when he heard about his boy Tua Tagovailoa getting the contract extension. What's your comments on that Miami Dolphins quarterback getting his bag?
Man, my disclaimer to everybody in the league right now is just pay him early, not late, because man, you will have to endure those large contracts. I'm very happy for Tua Tagovailoa, $53.1 million, just edging out Jared Goff's contract by about 100,000, 0.1 of a million, however you want to break that down. Very happy for him. One of those 4-year contracts that we haven't really seen. We've seen a lot of those 5-year deals. 4 years, $167 million in guaranteed money. Not sure what the signing bonus was, but I have to give him his credit where credit is due. The team looked amazing with him on the field. Just briefly, you take Tua off the field, the whole Dolphins offense struggled from the offensive line to the receiving corps. It was just bad. He showed his value in training camp. He showed his value in the McDaniel system the last 2 years. Now you're adding him an actual tight end. You know what I mean? Not Durham Smythe, not just a blocking guy, but an athletic freak in Jonnu Smith, who's still been able to play phenomenal years. You give him Odell Beckham as a third string receiver. He's your third guy. I think Tua's going to flourish in his offense. This is his 3rd year in the Mike McDaniel's offense. He's already, to me, he's this generation's Drew Brees, in my opinion. He's going to get the ball to where it needs to be. Only thing, he doesn't play in the dome like Drew did. So, sometimes those cold weather games, that will be his downfall. It's up to Mike McDaniels and the coaching staff to really get a system in place for the winter and the weather down the line, get that run game going. But I think that Tua is going to flourish in this offense yet again, as he's done in years past. He actually was able to stay healthy all of last year. I think that was the right move for the Dolphins. And clearly, Chris Greer and the Dolphins top manager, this is what they wanted to do. They didn't want to lose Tua Tagovailoa. They know the importance he has to the organization. So I feel like it was a win-win for both sides. Tua got his money, and then a couple minutes later, Jordan Love got his money. $55 million a year. So what, $75 million signing bonus? I think 158 or something like that in guarantees fully. But you have to give these guys credit, and that's why I look at a guy like Jamar Chase. I look at a guy like T. Higgins, C.D. Lamb. They're all sitting out right now. You have to get the contracts done. Otherwise, you're going to be really set back for a long time.
The Cincinnati one is very interesting because Mike Brown is the cheapest owner in the National Football League. They're the only National Football League team that don't have their own training facility, their own practice facility there in Cincinnati. They share it with a community based, like the YMCA or something like that, a group over there in Cincinnati. Mike Brown is dirt cheap. You saw that turf when we walked on that turf last year, J-GILLZ. You saw how the pebbles were sitting, all the black dots supposed to be underneath it, but all the black dots were sitting on top of it. No, I'm not talking about the football players, y'all. I'm talking about the turf, the actual turf field. The dots were sitting on top of the field, on top of the worn out turf. The turf was so worn out, the green is gone, the yellow or a shade of green. It does, he won't even pay for a new turf for his.
I'll never forget that turf and what it did to Tua.
Yeah, that's right. You hit it, man. That's right, because all the pebbles the black pebbles are supposed to be inside the turf, and it's supposed to be for cushioning and support. So if you hit your head or fall hard on it, it cushions the blow. That's what it's supposed to do. But if he can't play for that, how is he playing? I knew he wasn't paying T. Higgins. I'm like, man, I was shocked they paid Joe Burrows, man. I think he just had to do that for the face of the organization. They would have been, the fans would have tried to run Mike Brown out of there, but they're gonna still try to run him out because I don't know how many of those Bengals guys are gonna get paid before they leave Cincinnati. Because Mike Brown is from the Ralph Wilson old school. He ain't paying that kind of money. He ain't paying you money to play. He'd rather have you go, and he darn sure ain't doing what Bean and McDermott is, paying Stephon Diggs $24 million to play for the Texans, for the Houston Texans. No way, no how, no way that ever would have happened under the Ralph Wilson. Mike Brown is still from that old school era of owners. So let's see how that transpires down the road. I see we have our guests coming up.
Yeah, that's
and
gonna be fun.
yes, indeed. So before we go to our guest segment is brought to you this week by our award-winning Miriam Rivera Farmers Insurance Agency, Auto, Home, Health, and Life Insurance, 1038 Lyle Avenue or 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Give her a call if you're outside the area, 585-360-0094. That's 585-360-0094, Miriam Rivera Insurance Agency. And J-GILLZ, we're going to have you do the honor with the Olympics coming up. We got 2 weeks of the Olympics coming. That's not coming, it's here. The opening ceremony yesterday, the swimming and things start today. You're going to see a lot of swimming the first week, track and field the second week of the Olympics. So get ready. The Olympics are here. J-GILLZ, who do we have? Who's our guest coming on the Real Deal Sports Show?
Absolutely. Real Deal Sports Show is graced today by Africa's first ever professional surfer from Madagascar, currently ranked 19th right now. 19th. You know what I'm saying? In Africa in the World Surf League. Right now, we got Toki Joe Kennedy, the first African surfer right here with us. Man, doing phenomenal things. I had the chance to meet Toki Joe, at the screening of Wade in the Water, talking about the culture of Black surfing and the importance of Africans and African Americans in the surfing community. Joe, how you doing today?
Yeah, hi guys. Yeah, doing good and happy to join.
The Real Deal Sports Show. Well, we're happy to have you on, Joe. You know, we expressed the Wade in the Water. It showed us a lot in regards to just the culture of surfing, how surfing started in Africa. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Surfing started in Africa. I thought it started in Hawaii, where I'm growing up watching on Wild World of Sports. Man, wait a minute. It started in Africa. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, man. That's shocking to me. I love to learn something new every day. It looked like I did learn something new before 8:30 in the morning, this Saturday morning, gentlemen. Wow.
I know it's starting more in. Yeah, but the historic was we watching the movie in the theater there, and that makes me thinking too about my country too, because my country it's a little similar historic about that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and in my country was my father was the first Malagasy surfer in my country. Yeah, and that makes me interested too with the movie, and now we have a school to share the experience with the kids, the young Malagasy surfer.
Absolutely. You talked about your father, Marcel, being the first surfer in your country's history.
Yeah, in Madagascar.
In Madagascar, and now you have your surf school. What's the importance of just allowing children from your country those opportunities to just ride those waves like you did back when you were 9 and 10 years old?
Yeah, as for me, the good things is to make the kids knows like the ocean, and knows you can ride the wave, and to explore something new too, because the surf is new in my country, and now when I'm traveling, I show is out of Madagascar, it's a big deal, the surf and the big things, the surf. Yeah, and in my country, not yet much not evolutionary yet.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, Toki, just from doing our research with you, man, you seem to really be striving to bring the importance of your platform to the people. And we are the show. We love to give the people what they want. Talk to us just about your overall from the school. So I know you even have like lifeguarding lessons. You have tons of photos and videos with the kids and trying to show them the beauty of the water. And again, I'm sure that might bring some pressure for you, as it seems like you're bringing your whole country into this world of surfing. So talk to us just about the importance of the youth and what you do.
Yeah, the important for me was I want something change in my country because no one in Madagascar go to compete in internationalism like I do. And no one, I'm the first one to compete out of Madagascar. And the next generation is not yet have a possibility to compete out of Madagascar. And that's the things when I want, I explain more the surf in Madagascar, and I want the people to know there to have a surf and have a young surfer to wants to compete, and many kids too wants to surf there. And I want when I'm traveling, I always explain about the surf there and about the wave, and motivate the people to visit one day. And yeah, and the something a little sad for me because I was in South Africa, and Tasha, the president of the World Surf League Africa, wants to create some competition, World Surf League there, and they asked me to tell with the Federation Malagasy, and I communicate with the Federation Malagasy, but the Federation Malagasy did not accept the World Surf League to come. And that's the one thing makes me sad because that's what I want. That's what I need to go out of Madagascar to bring some good things in Madagascar.
Yeah. Well, hey, Toki Joe, just on that, why do you think that they didn't want to bring the World Surfing League to Madagascar?
Yeah, the Tasha wants, the president of the World Surf League Africa wants, and explain to me, ask with your Federation Malagasy, if they accept, we can go there, organize a big event for your country. And I'm communicate with them, and they not.
Wow.
Yeah, and until now, I'm always explain and take motivate the young, the good surfer to visit us, and that's why I share more the wave in Madagascar to all surfers see too. There have a good wave. And
Joe, we got the Olympics coming up, and this is the second time in the Olympic history where surfing is actually one of the main sports in the Olympics. Obviously, trying to get those waves in Paris, it's going to be tough. So they've moved the surfing down to Hawaii, I believe, Tahiti. Now, I just went, and that's 16,000 miles away, so that's very far from Paris, but still going to be surfing for Olympic gold. But can you just talk about the surfing committee and, how they are not allowing every country in Africa, because Madagascar, that's one country that's surfing in Africa. There are several countries surfing in Africa. Why are those countries represented in the Olympic Games?
Yeah, that is that's a big deal for the Malagasy surfer to participate with that, and that's a big deal too for all surfers around the world to join the Olympics. And it's
unexplainable. It's really reprehensible. And it's a shame because every country should have an opportunity to compete for gold when you're talking about the Olympic competition, not to mention a country that started surfing.
Yeah.
It's incomprehensible, and it's really not good, man. So what's it going to take to possibly, so the World Surfing League, is that the highest level of competition for surfing in Africa? Now, do you feel that some of those countries in that league should have an opportunity to compete for gold?
Yeah, maybe after 4 years or 10 years, maybe if the kids was training hard or having some help too, because that is the problem in my country. Not no one want to help about the surf there. Yeah, and the Olympics was a big level for the surfer to join.
And my last question, Joe, is what were some of your key takeaways in that great documentary that we screened at the Little Theater, the Rochester Association of Black Journalists Black Cinema Series, Wade in the Water? What were some of your key takeaways in that film?
Yeah, we're pushing the kids. We motivate them, giving good advice. You can do it. You go surf, and always it seems like that. It seems like we joking with the kids, and that makes the kids too motivated to surf. And if you're more serious with them, they are little shy and little afraid too. But you should still joke with them, and they take the surf too joking with, and that's they start to learn the surf.
Excellent. Well, very good. And you're going to be competing in the pro competition in Virginia Beach and Outer Banks later in August, which is really next week. Starting, wow, those.
Yeah.
You're going to be in those competitions?
Yeah. I joined to the Virginia Beach and the Outer Bank, and I'm so excited to compete here in US because it's my first time to compete here, and it's a big deal too for me to participate and compete too. And some of them I show in Balito Pro. Yeah, one of the participate, and happy to see them too in US, and that makes me more motivated to compete with them, to see the wave, to compete. And
beautiful.
Toki Joe Kennedy, the first professional surfer in Madagascar history, man, ranked 19th right now. We thank you for coming on the Real Deal Sports Show and enlightening us and the listening audience about the importance of Black surf culture, for sure.
Heck yeah. Thank you, Toki. Good luck, man, in the Olympics and afterwards as well. Keep doing your thing. Those are some great areas, Outer Banks, man, Virginia Beach. So good waves coming your way. So do your thing.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Look forward to having you back on Real Deal Sports Show. But that's a history lesson, everybody. I hope the young people out there listening, our people started surfing. J-GILLZ, isn't that something?
Talk about it. You know, that's why people got to stay tuned in and locked in. Wade in the Water, a great documentary, explain the history, and you would never know. The racial segregation that went down on all the way on the West Coast back in the 60s and 70s, and they're putting bleach in the water, dogs hounded on Black kids just for trying to surf right there in the Pacific Ocean. Just crazy. And to now this, leaving Africa out of the Olympics games, not giving every country an opportunity. So It's a lot, man. It's a lot that goes into it, and that's why we need people like Toki Joe Kennedy to inform us. That's why we need documentaries like Wade in the Water to inform us, because, like you say, man, this is the Real Deal Sports Show. We talk of sports of all sorts, and Black people, we are definitely tuned into sports of all sorts for a long time. You know, we just got to stay educated and stay on top of things for sure.
Absolutely. And hit the like button as well. You like the show, like it, subscribe on YouTube, like us, subscribe, the whole 9 yards on YouTube, Real Deal Sports Show. Because we know, Fanatic, we're not talking about what we heard. We're talking about what we know. And Tokyo Joe Kennedy was great coming on the show today, giving us a history lesson and educating people like myself and everybody out there in Radio Land that Africans started surfing. I was just amazed when I was reading it and also heard it from the unbelievable Fanatic. And then there's the atrocity of trying to stop us from swimming. Hey, y'all, go swimming. We like water. We ain't scared of water. We like water. We wade in the water, y'all.
We were born in it.
And you
this
got free,
this is where we were. So
there's free lessons at the City of Rochester Rec Centers. Check out the rec centers. Genesee Valley Park. Take your kids down there. Get them, ask about their lifeguards about the free swimming classes for our kids. Don't drive by the park looking like, oh, wait, I don't know about that swimming. Nah, man, let's get over to this pool and teach our kids how to swim. Teach them a life, something they can use their entire life, learning how to swim. And enjoying life.
Save their life, save someone else's life, and don't give me that. Come on, Real Deal Sports Show. We got to call a spade a spade. I got 2 Black daughters. Don't tell me it's about the hair, because I know it does make the hair get the conditioner. We got to do a little bit more with that, and it does take us longer and more work to do. And I'm working on getting my hands right with my daughter's hair. So, hey, man, we cannot say, oh, it's about the hair. They can wear a cap, and I know it just takes a little bit longer to condition it, deep condition it after they are done. Let's get in that water, man. It's a beautiful place, and that's where we started. Come on.
Absolutely. Let's get to it. And keep in mind, coming up, Fredrick Douglass HBCU Football Classic, Weekend of Hope, Central State, when we're announcing the teams right here on the air. For everybody who may not have heard the announcement, Central State out of Wilberforce, Ohio, will be coming to Rochester, New York, and they will be playing the Albany State Rams, Albany State, from way down in Albany, Georgia. They're deep
not
stuff.
Albany, New York.
No, we ain't talking about Albany, New York, y'all. No, we ain't talking about no team coming from Albany, New York. We talking about Albany, Georgia. They're making the long trip up. And guess what? They're buying tickets already. There are alumni people calling in. So go to Eventbrite, and buy your tickets through Eventbrite. Starting now, $25 tickets to get you in for the tailgating party. They'll get you in for the game itself, and they'll get you for the 5th quarter, the Battle of the Bands, on Saturday, September 21st at the Rochester Sports Complex. Used to be it's the old soccer stadium, y'all. Marina Park or whatever it used to be called. Now it's the Rochester Sports Complex right down there on 460 Oak Street. 460 Oak Street, Rochester Sports Complex. See the game Saturday, September 21st. But on the 19th, they're going to have a women's symposium. They got a lot of activity going on from September 18th through the 22nd. But the game day will be spectacular. And the Battle of the Bands, the 5th quarter, the Battle of the Bands. Come on out and see how these HBCUs really get down. Growing up, we didn't have an opportunity here on the East Coast to see and learn about it. We only heard from our cousins and relatives down south who went to HBCU schools at the time, how they get down. And they get down nicely. Educational wise, we got doctors, lawyers coming out of HBCU schools, Fisk, Meharry, all the schools down there. They get it on, and they have great musicians, great student body, great academics. Check out the HBCU. They're going to have Friday at the Convention Center. They're also going to have a college fair. So you'll be able to take your kids, see the colleges, the HBCU schools. They also have the trade and construction side as well. If you're not want to get in the academics side of it, you can get into construction and trade. But so it's going to be a glorious weekend. First time ever, the inaugural Fredrick Douglass HBCU Football Classic, Weekend of Hope. And it's hope to get these young people off the streets. We're sick of smelling the aroma of gun smoke throughout the city neighborhoods. We're sick of hearing all of that aroma of gun smoke. Fanatic, we ready to get these kids educated and give them another, at least have an opportunity to look at another avenue to get them where they need to be going. Right, Fanatic?
100%, 100%. That's what it's all about, man. We know with more opportunities to give people a chance to figure out what they want to do, to get an opportunity to see the world by taking your kids places and going to free activities here in the city of Rochester, in Western New York, and beyond. So, man, it's going to be a great weekend with the culmination of the football classic. HBCUs coming up here to Rochester. That's going to be a dope event. But to me, I think the pinnacle is going to be the college fair. We need to know about HBCUs. We need to know about which are the land grant institutions, like my sister's alma mater of North Carolina, A&T, land grant institutions. So everybody knows those are the servant universities, which are the universities that are tied to the communities. I think all institutions should be tied to the community. But, man, that college fair is going to be super great to just see an abundance of colleges all across the way. I think LSU will be in attendance as well, so we're going to look out on that. But it's also dope to know about trade schools, carpentry, HVAC, plumbing. Great to have those trades there as well. It's just going to be a great weekend, man. So please, hey, city of Rochester, Western New York, stand up. Hey, it's going to be a great time. Come support the community. We need the support for the programs like this to continue.
Yes, and if you get those game tickets, $25 is not a lot of money when you look at the prices for going to a concert, $500. People plopping down all kinds of ridiculous money for other activities. Cell phones cost way more than $25. So if you come on out for the game, come on out and really enjoy the atmosphere. Give you, because it's going to give you a feel of what it's like to be at an HBCU. So you get that opportunity in Western New York, in Rochester, New York. So look for it. $25 tickets, Eventbrite. Go check it out. Central State versus Albany State, Saturday, September 21st at the Rochester Sports Complex, 460 Oak Street, Rochester, New York. What we have, Fanatic?
Yes, sir. Hey, Rad, man, simple question. We mentioned it, man. The Olympics are starting in Paris. They started yesterday. LeBron did his thing as a flag bearer. Celine Dion got up there and sung her heart out. Talk to me, Radman. When you think about the Olympics, what are you most looking forward to when you watch the Olympics in any of all sports?
Track and field. And that's not until the second week. Always the swimming is fine and all of that. The swimming and the gymnastics, and seeing Simone Biles and the U.S. team. They have some really good gymnasts. On the men too. The men actually have a good competitive team this go around. So I'm going to be watching gymnastics the first week, but track and field is my favorite. I love the 100, the 400, the relay races. Track and field is where it's at for me with the Olympics. I remember going to the 1996 Olympics down in Atlanta, Georgia. We had a great time with Edwin Moses and the running, seeing him run and being live in the stadium. So I can imagine the people over there in Paris being live in those stadiums and seeing the different events. And we used to go to went to weightlifting. I used to love going to the weightlifting events, saw the weightlifters and all of that.
Kurt Angle, didn't you see Kurt Angle down there in the 96 Olympics?
That's right. Kurt Angle was it. That's right. The wrestler Kurt Angle was in there during that time period. It was a great Olympics event back in 1996. So I hope everybody stays safe and sound and be a great Olympics over there in Paris, France. And also see some of the tennis stars come out and see some of the old timers and see what they can do. Because on these teams, you see a lot of the older players get a chance to still play. Taurasi on the basketball side of the women's basketball team, that should be good competition. They should be able to go and get another goal. The men should get that goal as well. But, hey, they can't take these teams lightly. I mean, the team called Sudan, man, I'm shocked that Sudan forced the U.S. team, that they were that lackadaisical that Sudan kept that game close. And LeBron had to do a layup to win that game for the Americans. I hope the U.S. will stay focused and not take some of these teams lightly. What do you think, Fanatic?
Hey! Don't be trying to get me in trouble like Gilbert Arenas now. Don't try and get me in trouble, man. But not the South Sudan. And shout out to Luau Dang, man. You know who give back, man. And he put his whole country on his shoulder, man. And that man could run forever. That dude, Luau Dang, that dude, like his average minutes per game have to be like 38 minutes per game. Man, one of the highest in the league, man. He always played, and he always played a lot of minutes, and it's beautiful what he's doing for the South Sudan and letting them know what's going on.
And I did not know that South Sudan does not have no indoor arenas. Everything is outside for them. They don't have. I did a little research. I didn't know. I said, South Sudan, who is this? Wait a minute, let me look them up. Man, they don't have no indoor facilities. They didn't have no indoor facilities, and they pushed the U.S. team to the brink of a major upset in just an exhibition game. Obviously, the U.S. was a little relaxed. I don't know if maybe the travel, the jet lag got them or something. But those boys came to play. South Sudan, man. They may not play indoors too often, but man, they played it that night.
Hey, we for all of us hoopers out here, playing outdoors on that concrete in the elements with the wind and the heat versus the indoor, it's a different type of game. It's the same game, but it's a different type of game. So, but Radman, I know we gotta get ready to wrap up, but one of the things that I'm really interested to see is the women's soccer. Of course, being from the great city of Rochester, New York, we grew up with Abby Wambach, Mercy Zone, the city of Rochester Zone, killing it in the Olympics from her onset, from her first time being an Olympian. So women's soccer is something I just grew up watching. Man, I can't wait to watch that. When I look at his team, it's no Abby Wambach, it's no Megan Rapinoe, it's no Alex Morgan. It's a whole new ball game, man. It's no, and I know this might be controversial, but I love Hope Solo's fierceness in goal, man. That women's team, I love that, getting down with it. So my daughters are playing soccer, so we're really excited for that. But when I look around, I like my girl number 4, Naomi Grimm, man. She coming in there. Emily Sonnet on defense, and to me, it seems like the star. And I'm really interested to see how this all works. Is Crystal Dunn, Trinity Rodman? Yes, that last name Rodman. That's Dennis Rodman's daughter. She's been playing really, really well. So it's going to be interesting to see Lindsay Horan with the number 10 jersey that I used to rock. Women's soccer, man, it's going to be interesting to see how they do in the Olympics, because we're usually the best. And Abby Wambach, Megan Rapinoe, Hope Solo, Alex Morgan, they were the catalyst for that. Now it's an entirely new generation. So I'm excited to see the women's soccer in particular.
Absolutely. And Rick Tony, thank you, Rick Tony, for all the great comments on social media today. Yeah, Mark Henry. I did see Mark Henry in the weightlifting back in the 1996 Olympics. Thanks for reminding me, Rick Tony, about Mark Henry. He sure was in the weightlifting competition. Hurt his knee and had to end his chance of getting a medal at there. I was there for that, to see that in the weightlifting competition. And hopefully, I wish they would show more and more. We don't have to go to these social media sites, these peacocks, just to see the Olympics. Come on, NBC, quit trying to pimp the Olympics, man, and just put it on TV so we can give us a flavor of the different events. And I hear the music. That means BacSpin is looming next and looming large. He's about to come on and do his thing. Good morning, BacSpin.
Good morning, Real Deal Sports crew. How y'all doing, man?
Great. Got the birthday guy for the Fanatic.
Yes, sir. Fanatic. Happy born day, my brother, man.
Thank you, my man. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. It's a good day. Like I said earlier, truly is a good way to start the day, man. Kicking it with the Real Deal Sports Show family. And I know it's gonna be a good one. 35, baby. Here we go.
Hey, only thing worse than getting old is not getting old. You heard?
Amen to that. That's right. Hey, back to we listen to for the music and for the words of wisdom. That's what's up. Exactly right.
No doubt. Oh man, looking forward to the show next week, fellas. I appreciate you guys. Radman, J-GILLZ, the Fanatic Real Deal Sports Show. You know they talk sports of all sorts every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. right here on the Beat 105.5. You guys have a great weekend.
You too. Like and subscribe. Hit us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit that notification. We appreciate you. Catch you next week. And don't remember to be a good sport.
Yes, indeed. Keep it where you need it, Rock City. On the flip side, it's the Back in Time Mix Show. It's all on the way right here on the Beat.